In this video, you will learn what's a realistic monthly return when it comes to DCA-based algo trading. People ask me nearly every day, how can I make 1 or even 3% per day? Do you really think that's realistic? Let me know in the comments. But most importantly, I will show you the real account returns of trading Win Premium live for the last 2.5 months. During this video, you will also find a nice discount on Win Premium for the first 3 people that subscribe after this video. So don't skip any part of this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and join the Discord server. The link is always in the pinned comment below the video. Okay guys, let's start with this, because on my algo trading coaching on Fiverr, I get those messages like so regularly. I wanted to try to clear that up for everybody in this video. How do people come up with 1% per day, that this would be even possible? Of course, we're talking about long term. When I was gambling on perpetual futures, I sometimes did 150% in 3-4 days. That's not a problem, but most likely 1 week later, everything will be gone. So we're talking about consistent profits for many years without any huge drawdowns. Probably the best thing to start with is not thinking daily, more thinking at least monthly, better yearly. Just think of this. If you compound it daily, you will get $41 billion after 5 years if you start with 5,000. Sounds a little bit too good to be true, right? If we boost that up to 3%, I don't know how people come up with 3% per day, but obviously it's even more unrealistic. So what is a realistic monthly return when it comes to algorithmic trading, or I would say when it comes to any kind of trading? Let me show you that in a minute. But first I want to tell you 5% per month is what I usually tell to people. This is something you can do. With Tyson, it's obviously higher, as you might have seen on the website. But with DCA-based trading tools like Win Premium, 5%, or sometimes if you put it a bit more aggressively, 10% can be realistic. If you think of it in the yearly terms, you will end up with 79% per year, which is already better than any hedge fund in the world. So the Jim Simmons hedge fund, Renaissance Technology, they have something around 65-70% per year on average since I think the 80s, and they are the best hedge fund in the world. But this can be taken with a grain of salt, because they have an entirely different problem, right? They are managing billions of dollars, and you can't just like enter some shitcoin with a $50 million position. It will just eat through the order book, and you're going to be your own exit, and yeah, this will not be profitable. So small traders with smaller accounts, and when I say small accounts, it's even $200,000, $300,000. You know, the big advantage compared to hedge funds like Renaissance Technologies. It can be possible to achieve something like 10%, which already is a 213% yearly return. Of course, there will be drawdowns in between. So most likely when it's a solid year, it's going to be on average around 100-120% with DCA-based trading scripts, just like our Win Premium script. So this one has been set up properly at the beginning of November or end of October. Before that, we didn't have a proper setup. So it started with something like $900, and now it's $307 in a profit. And this means in 2.5 months, so today we have the 19th of January, bit more than 2.5 months, we made around 30%, which is around 10% per month. I think that's a very, very nice result, and it's not even set up super aggressively. I would say it's set up in a moderate way, in a responsible way, where it can manage risk quite well. And you see the equity curve is like super stable. That's what we're looking for. Not having too much floating drawdown, basically. Let's take a look at the history of the trades. And here you can see it's not even optimized to the newest features of Win Premium, because we still have some that are closed at market price. And with the new feature you have since the version 1.1, now we're actually sitting at 2.0, you can use the 3 commas exit. So this will disable the exit alert, meaning it will disable the market exit. And instead you're just going to use the inbuilt limit order exit from 3 commas. What is the advantage, you might ask? Well, you can see there's a big difference in the performance. With the limit exit, you get exactly the take profit that you have been setting up. So We set up the 4.8% take profit here, and the deal closes at 4.8%. In comparison to the market order, you see you can have so much slippage, especially on ByBit, that the trade actually exits in a loss. But this will not happen if you set everything to limit. It will actually also happen quite rarely with market. But just to be completely sure, I think here we have a batch of limit orders. It will always exit at 4.8, 4.8, 4.8, 4.8, 4.8. Another thing I really wanted to mention for the setup, because some people had some troubles with that, do not massively over allocate the funds if you're using spot, because it can happen that, let's try to find an example here. So if we need the safety orders, like on this trade, and let's say it's 5 safety orders, and Win is actually sending a safety order alert to 3 commas, and the algorithm thinks, okay, now this line is going to be the average entry. So I do take the take profit at 4.8, 5%, whatever. But actually the order was not executed. So the real break even would be here on this line. And this will end up in a loss because your average entry price has not been coming down. So if you want to over allocate your capital on 2x, 3x, definitely use perpetual futures for that to make sure you're not running out of funds and you're not missing out on safety orders, which will make you end up in a losing position. I now want to show you the rest of the setup or the rest of the trade history. So if you want, you can pause the video and see how this real account has been performing with real money trades. Which trading pairs have been used on this ByBit account? Before we look into that and look into the exact setup, as promised, we have a massive discount for the first 3 people that subscribe. It's going to be valid for monthly, quarterly, or yearly. And for the first purchase, it will give you a discount of 60%. So if you go for monthly, it will just discount the first month for 60%. But if you go straight for yearly, it will discount the whole yearly price for 60%, which is massive. So how would you apply this discount? After signing up to the Block Research web app, you will find this dashboard and you're gonna hover over to Win Premium and choose your subscription. Let's go for the yearly, since this would have by far the best value. And then here on the Stripe checkout, you can just put in the code Win Premium January 60. And if you're one of the first lucky 3 people that are seeing this video, the discount will be applied like that. Okay, so let's look at the setup. The setup that I've been using for this specific account that I just presented to you is actually very close to the default. We just went down to 4.8 and the take profit, and we've been using the 3 commas limit exit to not lose too much money on slippage. And this setting is exactly the same for every trading pair because we always want to avoid overfitting. The trading pairs that I've been choosing for ByBit here are just the ones that have a nice volatility, and when you look through the chart, you will find some very nice entries, like catching the exact local low many times. So this just means the algorithm performs very well on this specific volatility. I wouldn't actually look too much into the performance summary. I mean, it's correct, it works fine. But what's more indicative for the future is that the volatility will continue in the same way, not necessarily the performance. The trading pairs are GPT, ADA, Link, Ripple, Pepe, RSS3, Litecoin, Flow, Zen, People, Luna, Comp, Doge, Anchor, Mask, Tron, HBAR, Mana, and GMX. Sometimes I use the 5-minute, but not for many. Most of the time, the 50-minute time frame with those settings that I just presented to you. All right, if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment with topics that you would like to have a video about. Thank you all for watching, happy trading, and see you in the next one.